Hello, in this video I'm going to show you a sample solution for this problem, which is saying capture a date as 3 integer numbers, year, month and day, and check if it is a correct one, meaning that the months have to be between 1 and 12, and depending on what that value is, the days, if it's February, it has to be between 1 and 28, if it's January, March, etc., between 1 and 31, and April and the rest of the months between 1 and 30. Okay, we're going to ignore leap year, so we're going to count February always as between 1 and 28. Okay, so let's have a look at the solution. And this is my sample solution. We start by asking the user the month and the day as integers, as the question said. We're giving the user the range that they should be using. And I'm using \n for a new line, and we'll see that when we execute it, what effect that has. Now in this case I've decided to set up a variable that is going to contain either true or false depending on what the month is. Okay, I had originally 2 variables, but then once I wrote my if statements I decided that if I check if it's February and then I check if the month has 30 days, then any other month will have 31 days, and that's the way I'm going to be working. Okay, so once I check this here is checking month being equal to 4 or being equal to 6 or being equal to 9 or 11, all the months that have 30 days. If any of those is true, then A30 will be true and I have that information stored. If not, A30 will be false. Okay, so let's look at the structure of the if statement. I have an outside if statement here where I'm checking if the month is between 1 and 12, as we told the user to write, and the day is between 1 and 31. Okay, if that is the case, then we go into the calculations here. If it's not the case, the user types in 40 for the month or for the day, then what I'm doing is setting a variable m, in this case, or message, to be equal to 2. That means the date is invalid. Okay, so I'm storing the information of the date being valid or invalid internally in a variable. 1 meaning it's okay, 2 meaning it's not okay. Okay, so if the date is between 1 and 12 and 1 and 31, we go in to check for the specific months. And I start with February because it's the exceptional, the different case. So I check if the month is equal to 2, meaning February. Then I check the day. If the day is less or equal than 28, then it is, the message should be 1, meaning it's okay, it's a valid date. Else, if it's not, then it's invalid. Okay, so we check here. If it's not February, we go to the next statement, elif. We check if A30 is true. If A30 is true, it means it's one of these months, and we know that those months are the months that have 30 days only. So my condition inside this other if statement is going to be if day is less or equal to 30, then it's correct. Else, for this if, it's incorrect because we're in a month where there should be only 30 days and we're typing 31. And if it's not February, it's not one of the months with 30 days. It has to be, I don't need to check again, I don't need to use this A31 variable where I have all the months with 31 days. It has to be 31 days. So I can check straight away with the else if day is less or equal to 31. If that is the case, the message should be correct, else the message is incorrect. So that's the logic of my code. Now the user cannot see if their date is correct or incorrect yet. We need to convert our internal code of M1 and M2 into a message, and we do that with this small little if statement. If M is 1, valid, print it, else print invalid. Okay, so by using this variable I am saving having to retype the same message in different places of the code. Here, here and here we will have the same message, and here, here, here and here we would have the same message. Now it works very well here because we're just saying valid or invalid. If we want to give the user more information, we would need to have extra cases or put the print statements in the right place. Okay, so here when we're saying M2, we know perfectly that the month is February and that the date is less than 32, more than 0, but more than 28. So this message could be specifically saying invalid date because the month is February and you typed in a number that is greater than 28. Okay, same case here. We know we're in the case where we're in one of the months with 30, the value has to be less than 32, therefore in here we could even say you're in a month where there's only 30 days and you typed in 31. Okay, now because the question is just saying give the user valid or invalid, this is enough, and my m variable being equal to 1 and 2 saves me a lot of print statements along the code. So let's see it running. Okay, when we execute it, enter the month, you see how the cursor is on the next line. So we say February, and the 12th of February, it's valid. If we try the 31st of February, it's invalid. If we try an invalid range, say month 14 and day 44, it's invalid. Okay, so this is my sample solution for that problem with the days of the month and checking if the date is valid or invalid.